name is Patina Lathor.
My name is Poi Galapapasilva.
My name is Patrick Dimsabla. You can call me Ern. You can call me Ern.
Ern.
Yes. We
Poi.
Pon.
I'm Farm.
Sam.
Farm.
Farm.
I'm from King Mongkut University of Technology Thonburi. Did you know?
No.
Kingwood.
No.
Okay.
One more time. What is the word?
King Mongkut
University.
King. Oh, okay.
Yes.
And what are you studying?
I'm studying in engineering.
Engineering.
Yes.
All of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
They will have work in my oral communication class to interview some foreign.
Okay.
About Thailand.
Okay.
What is your name?
My name is Reg Burkett. Reg. R-E-G.
Reg.
Up G. Not Reg. Reg. Reginald.
Okay.
Where are you from?
From Canada. The province of Ontario, near Toronto. I went to the University of Waterloo.
What are you doing in Thailand? What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm working teaching.
Teaching.
Why do you choose this country?
I went on the web, looked at websites. I originally applied to China and there were problems, communications. So then I applied to Thailand and no problem. And I was put on a list and everything was very easy. And plus, I'd never talked before. And so I was assured that this was not a problem and that I would be helped in finding what I needed to know to teach properly. And so it was made very easy. So it was an easy decision.
Oh.
A few years after that, I went to visit China. And I was so happy to come back to Thailand.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Thailand?
That was 2005, so I've been here. This is my 11th year.
2005.
10 years.
I forget what that is, 25, 45, or
About 10.
I forget. So 11 years. This is my 11th year teaching.
What do you like most in Thailand? I mean, the weather, food, or tradition?
Took me a long time to get used to the weather. The weather is the least thing. It's nice to have summer all the time, but to me it's like nothing changes ever. It's always the same. Sometimes you get a little rain. Sometimes it's a little hotter or a little cooler, but it's always just a little. Everything seems to me to always be the same. Where I lived in Canada, we had huge, massive changes all the time, one day to another. Here it's almost always the same. So it's nice, but it would be nice to have some change if it got cooler for a while. I love the food. Food is fine. No problem with that. And I like to visit places. I like Lopburi, wild monkeys, and Ratchaburi. A little bit. I don't like to travel too much, but I've been Chiang Mai a couple times, Chiang Rai, Nong Khai. I've never been much south, and it doesn't really seem very welcoming for teachers in the south. So, but yeah, I've seen a lot in 10 years, and I met some interesting people. I live on a street where everybody knows everybody, and we have parties all the time, and it's just fun, even though I don't understand what they're saying most of the time. But I have a Thai wife that translates for me.
So your wife is Thai people, Thailand people. Your wife is Thai people.
Yes, she's from Kanchanaburi, not Kanchanaburi.
Kanchanaburi in the West Thailand.
Yeah, and she speaks English quite well and better all the time. She's learning English faster than I'm learning Thai. So, and she has 2 children that I sometimes help with homework. And they learn a little bit of English, so kind of fun.
do you think about Thai people?
Thai people in general. Well, let me talk a bit about how they're different from people I knew in Canada. I think in Thailand, I was amazed by people who would tell me about, my brother and my father. I said, well, how many brothers do you have? Oh, what? No, none. Oh, well, you call him your brother? Yeah, I've known him a long time. He's my brother. And he calls his father father, so I call him father. So that's not your father. No. Okay. So when I first came here, I thought, wow, people have big families. Everybody's related to each other. Turned out they're not. Nobody's related by birth, but everybody has friends. Everybody has lots of friends. I thought, wow, it was quite different. And a lot of people that I thought, I got on a bus with a friend and she's talking to this other woman. Oh, this is an old friend of yours. No, never seen her before. But you talk like you're related. People are have relationships established really fast. In Canada, I went years without making any new friends, just because I wasn't motivated then. But I had a few close friends. Here, so easy. People have a different concept of relationships. You don't have to know someone forever, just maybe only one day, but you can be brothers in a day, just for one day. Maybe you'll never see each other again. So I found that really different. And I found that people depend on each other a lot more. And if they have a problem, they might ask for something if they need something. So I find that nicer. It's a nice way to live. You don't feel isolated. For years I felt quite isolated, partly from my own.
Sorry.
Really quick, I just wanted to clock out, if that's alright.
Oh.
Just wanted to clock out really
Oh,
quick.
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Is that okay?
อ๋อโอเคโอเค
ตามได้ไหม
ต่อเลย
Sorry.
sorry
What do you think about Thailand of Smile?
Land of Smile. Yeah, I found that to be quite true. People are much friendlier. Maybe they don't always feel, but I think generally people are poor in Thailand, but they're not miserable because of it. I mean, being poor in Thailand doesn't necessarily mean you can't be happy. In other places, people with a lot more money not as happy because many people they want more, not enough. You have to have more. Here, well, I don't know. I see lots of people who don't have very much, but don't really care. So I think there's the happiness level is higher in Thailand, I think.
Did you ever been to near in Thailand, such as Laos, Myanmar, or Malaysia?
I've been to Laos for 1.5 hour. I went to Chiang Rai and then the three
Myanmar.
the three places.
ไอ้ซ้ำหนึ่ง
เรียกว่าอะไร
I forget what it's called, but it's 3 points. Where, I think it's Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand. Right? And I went on a boat and they said, oh, if you want, you can shop in Laos. So, but I don't want to leave Thailand without making sure my visa is okay. I don't have to come back. Oh, no problem. Just go, you pay 50 baht and you get a visa for Laos for 1 hour. Oh, okay. So we did a bit of shopping and came back. But that's the only time I've been in Laos or Cambodia or Myanmar. The only other place in Asia I've been to China for 1 week, or 2 weeks, 10 days, I think. And the rest of the time was Thailand. I've been to England a couple times since I've moved here, and Canada 2 times. But rest most of the time here.
Okay, how do you think about Thai food? You love it?
I like food. Yeah, I like all kinds of food. I find the food is not the problem. The problem is eating when other people eat. I find it difficult to eat late But all my friends start eating at 8 o'clock, and they're buying food from restaurants, and they're cooking. One of the people on the street has a brother who's a chef at a big hotel, and he could cook all kinds. He can cook morning glory with lots of flames. But they all want to eat. And my wife, Lamyai, she likes to eat either 4 o'clock or 9 o'clock, but not always at the same time. And I'd like to get more on a certain time, like between 5 and 6. I like to eat. She never wants to eat it, so we never eat together, except when we go out to a restaurant.
And can find food anytime that you want.
Oh, anytime,
Anytime,
and every
anywhere.
kind of food. Yeah, even in the little town of Amiai, there's still these big markets where you can find all kinds of things. Yeah, and just a walk from where I live is a big market, Nisatsun. And right close to there's a 7-Eleven, and there's a Home Mart, and then there's what's that called? It's for hamburgers. You know, a store just around the corner that has fried chicken and hamburgers and lasagna or whatever, all kinds of, in just this little town. So, it's amazing. I used to go to Bangkok every 2 weeks or so, but lately, I go 2 or 3 times a year now, because I don't really need to. I don't need to look for things that I can't find around here. So you can get almost anything you want if you know where to look.
And what do you think about Thai education?
Thai education.
How different from US?
I don't think I really know and understand. I mean, I see my students. I have 120 students, but I only interact with them in English. And so I think some of my students who are slow with English are not in fact slow with other subjects. I don't know. But sometimes I think not, because I see students who have a lot of trouble with English, but their faces are up because they're getting awards for things. So I think, okay, I misunderstand how well that student learns, because the problem they have is with English, but not necessarily science or math or anything else. So I don't have a good idea of how well my students perform necessarily. And some of them are really, really good at English, but I think it's probably because one of their parents speaks English. And maybe they don't do well with other subjects. I don't know. I can't really get much of an idea about that. I don't know.
Which grade do you teach?
Oh, it changes all the time, but mostly I like it when I teach Pratom, not Madhyam. Madhyam is a whole much more difficult thing, because it's not just trying to have them understand, but have them be awake and have them not talking.
Not pay attention.
But Pratom is much easier. But, you know, grade 4 is one, I almost always teach grade 4, not always the same subject. Right now with geography, last term it was science and computers. Again, they have a lot of trouble with English, so I have to repeat the English part. But the other part, they seem the same as I remember when I was young, that if you give them something that's interesting, they just go crazy with it and do all kinds of neat stuff. But the English is the hard part. They have to work extra, not teaching computers, but teaching English vocabulary so they understand the computer. The computer is not the problem. The English is the problem.
Okay, now I thank you.
And I have some question. Do you have any comment about my skill with talking to you?
I think you have the most trouble with English. Three. I don't know what you think, but you're fine. You communicate. That's what's necessary. I don't have trouble understanding, so you're okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Goodbye.
In Canada, I studied electronics for a couple of years. I have an undergraduate degree in anthropology, but 2 years at a technical college learning electronics. But that was back in the 70s, so
70s.
I learned vacuum tube technology and how to make amplifiers from vacuum tubes.
Op-amp.
And the year after I left, they started a program to teach 6800. I think it's a Motorola. No, not Motorola. What was it? Whatever. 6800 microprocessor, 8-bit, like the 6500s or 6802. Those early Apple had a 6502. They had a 6800. Forget one of the game machines. But anyway, old, very old. So I learned a lot of things about electronics, basics, but I'm learning a lot more now. You're familiar with like the Raspberry Pi?
That's
Know
really
Raspberry Pi?
Android.
Not Android. Well, maybe Android could fit, but it's a small board
Yes, yes.
with everything you need to hook, and Arduino. Do you know Arduino?
Yeah, I do.
Love Arduino. Yeah, great. I have 4 of them. I'm trying to integrate it into my classroom. I think this week I will be showing them an Arduino and how to program it. And it's really, wow, it's amazing what you can do with just a little electronic now. And even if you don't understand that much, it's fun to
Fun, me too.
get interested. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.